Childhood friends separated for 85 years were reunited by a school photo. How did a single picture bring them back together? Jim and Betty were childhood pals from the 1930s who hadn't seen each other in 85 years. They lived across the street and walked to school together every day. Their heartfelt reunion has now gone viral, demonstrating how solid childhood friendships can last a lifetime. Their wonderful journey began in the 1930s, when they were both young children growing up on the same street in a quiet little town. As neighbors, they quickly became close friends. Every school morning, one would knock on the other's door and walk together to school. Jim fondly remembered, there was a bakery across the street, and Betty lived just behind it. We walked to school together and spent so much time playing. However, in 1939, everything changed. Jim's family had to relocate, and the sudden change disrupted their daily routine. After that, they lost contact. Life took them on separate ways. Jim finally entered the military, where he met the woman he would marry. After the war, he settled in Rain, Essex. Betty, on the other hand, remained in Eyemouth till the early 1950s. She married Alfred Ivor Davidson and subsequently relocated to North Yorkshire, where she still resides today. Jim and Betty continued to live their lives as time passed. However, the memories of their early companionship remained silently tucked away in their hearts. Many decades later, Jim's son, Alistair Dougal, became curious about his father's past. One day, he came across an old black-and-white class photograph from 1936. It featured 32 schoolchildren, including a young Jim and Betty. That photo sparked something in Alistair. He wanted to find out more about the lives of the people in the picture and began his own journey of discovery. Alistair's search took him far and wide. Many of the children from the photo had grown up and moved to places like Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. Sadly, most of them were no longer living. In the end, only 3 of the children in the picture were still alive: Jim, Margaret Macaulay, formerly Dougie, and Betty. Hoping for help, Alistair posted the old school photo in a Facebook group called Eyemouth Past, wondering if anyone could recognize Betty. In just an hour, he received a message from Maureen Stevenson, who said, "That's my Aunt Betty. She's alive and doing well. She's living in North Yorkshire." Thanks to Maureen's help, Alistair was able to reach out to Betty. Not long after, she gave him a call. Their conversation was filled with joyful memories. Betty even shared another special photo, one from around 1936 showing her, Jim, and her sister Elma in their garden. In the photo, Jim and Betty had their arms around each other's shoulders, clearly showing how close they were. Alistair said that when he showed that photo to his father, Jim was deeply touched. It brought back a flood of memories and emotions. And then, something truly special happened. After 85 years apart, Jim and Betty, both now 96 years old, met once again in person. The reunion took place in North Yorkshire. Jim arrived with his son, and Betty welcomed them with a warm smile. Betty later described the meeting as lovely. She said with a happy laugh, "Jim was a bit shy, but we were really good friends." During their time together, they recreated the same garden photo from all those years ago. Standing side by side with their arms around each other once more, it was like time had stood still. Alistair said, "They looked just as happy and comfortable as they did back then." This reunion was more than just a meeting. It was emotional, touching, and inspiring. It felt like a story that had been waiting nearly 90 years to finish. Jim said, "It's amazing, she's still around, and so am I. That's really something." Their touching story is a beautiful reminder that true friendships, especially those formed in childhood, can survive the test of time, even if life pulls people in different directions. While the internet played a role in bringing them back together, it was their deep bond that made the reunion so heartwarming. In today's world, where online connections often come and go, Jim and Betty's story stands out. It reminds us that face-to-face friendships, especially those built in childhood, have a special kind of magic. Their emotional reunion, sparked by Alistair's curiosity and kindness, has captured the hearts of many. In a time when digital conversations can sometimes feel temporary, their story offers a refreshing look at the beauty of true, lasting friendship.